Hey all, it's Paul from Drums and Rums with a Backbeats Meets the Spirits, episode 46. On this podcast, I'm hoping you're having a really bad day while listening to this, as we have a really bad guest, Doc Brown, the owner of Really Bad Rum. You'll hear some background noise as this podcast was taped live on location at a packed restaurant located in Jupiter, Florida, on Craft Distilling Day, for our first Drums and Rums event. I chat with Doc about his award-winning rum, to his rum journey, and to some of the challenges of promoting his products during the pandemic. All right. So good evening. Hey all. This is Paul from Drums and Rums with a Backbeats Meets the Spirits. Tonight we are live at Nitrogen. And for our first on-location podcast, I am here with our guest, Doc Brown. I guess he's got a few other folks there, so if you're expecting a good time tonight, forget it. It's going to be really bad tonight. So
Indeed.
So let me introduce my guest. Hold on. He's got to get his shot because he is a doctor. So he's got. I think that's the COVID shot, right?
It is actually. If you can smell it, taste it, then you don't have COVID.
Oh, that's good. That's good news. So welcome to the podcast, Doc.
Pleasure to be here.
Excellent. So let's talk about why are we all so really bad?
Good question. These people are because they're really loud.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they must be drinking something really bad.
Right. Wait. I think I'm actually drinking one of those
do.
really bad things
You
too.
do. You have a tropical depression in your hand.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. So that's the dark rum ginger beer and just a splash of pineapple juice. Hey, everybody, listen up. Go see your bartender for a tropical depression. Guaranteed to be really bad.
Yes. So I did try to make these the other night. And
I hear that.
And I think I did a really bad job, actually. I think it was a little messy making my tropical depression the other night. But yes, so your product here, Really Bad Rum. Now, this rum has won some awards. Tell us about the awards that Really Bad Rum has won.
Well, thanks. The rum is made locally here in Florida in what I call the valleys of New Smyrna Beach.
Oh, yes.
Just north of here by an hour or two.
Is there a lot of valley girls there?
No, but it's better than saying the mountains of.
Ba-dum-boom.
And yes, we've won 5 awards over the past 5 years of being in business with the brand. Okay. It's a tough battle. Mm-hmm. You know, we got the Captain Morons of the world, that big sea of rum out there that's constantly, beating us up.
Right.
But, I come from Massachusetts originally, so I like to consider myself Old Ironside.
Okay.
Yep. If anybody knows history and civics and where the independence of this country started, is in Massachusetts, my hometown, Lexington.
So, Doc, that actually might be a good trivia question for some free giveaways, but maybe we'll save that for later.
That actually would be. Like, who was the guy that rode the horse?
Mr. Ed?
Yeah. Hello, kids. I'm Mr. Ed.
So your awards that you've recently won over the last couple of years was also one of them you got recognized for bottle design.
Absolutely. We put a lot of time into the bottle. All the design and artwork is mine. Mm-hmm. I created it. I wanted to have a bottle that would stand out from others. Okay. And by doing so, I thought, printing gets expensive when you start getting into multicolors. And, I said, it just looks awesome, black and white.
Yeah.
And it's got that pirate theme. And so we send the bottles. We buy American bottles. Let's start there. We buy American-made glass. That glass gets shipped out to a company called Loggerhead in the Midwest, where they do the painting and then the silk screening, and then the bottles come back here to be filled, corked, and sealed. Yes, that adds cost to it, but I feel that it makes the bottle look a lot better than some of the competitors' bottles. Yeah. And you got to spend money to get returned.
Right.
So
yeah, it's like any type of product, right? Is something that's got to catch your eye when it's on the shelf, whether it's cereal or something in the supermarket, right? You just got to say, oh, that looks interesting. So.
I'm going to do like really bad Cracker Jacks next. You just put that in my head.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So you've heard it first.
Cereal.
You've heard it first. Really bad Cracker Jacks.
Muffins. Bad muffins.
Yes, it's really bad. So so tell us about your rum journey. How did you get to where we're at today here? You know, were you just born with a bottle in your hand and that's destined for you to make rum?
No, I had a really bad idea to get into the rum business. It started with a rum cake.
Okay.
And in the process of developing the rum cake, I was using another brand of rum, which I'll leave unnamed. And I was walking through the store buying another handle of that brand rum when I noticed Ron Jeremy rum. I don't know if your listeners know who Ron Jeremy is, but I'm sure some of them watched and maybe did more with him.
No. This is a family podcast, so nobody would know.
Yeah.
That
Hey, kids. Trivia question, who's Ron Jeremy? So Ron Jeremy has a rum.
Right.
And bottled by One-Eyed Spirits. How ironic. And I bought a bottle and brought it home and it was terrible. And I said, you know what? If this genius can make a rum, I can do a rum too.
Right.
And why would I use another brand in my rum cake? So that set us off on a whole new path and got me really involved in where we are today with the rum brand itself.
Right. So that's interesting. It's took matters into your own hands and be able to create your products with your own products, right? So instead of using something else, and I think that's going back to talking about how the really bad rum is manufactured, made, and it's great that it's all made here in the U.S., right? Is we can make things a lot cheaper by sending it overseas, and we all know that, but it's going to cost a little bit more to be made, and everybody wants to be USA. So that's great that you're, able to do that.
Not one step of the process is cheap.
Right.
At all. We put a lot of money into making the product. I particularly am very, for lack of better words, anal about the product before it goes into a bottle because consistency is everything.
Yep.
And, we do small batches. I'm not buying containers full of glass and buying tanker trucks full of rum. We're making it by batch. And my distillery that I use up in New Smyrna Beach, Sugarworks Distillery, great guys to work with. They take a lot of care in all the products, not just mine. They take a lot of care, and I can't say thank you enough to them for where they brought the brand, because without their knowledge and formulation and care, the awards wouldn't come in.
Right. No, that's
so it's really not just my award; it's their award as well.
Right. And you don't, like anything, you just aren't become successful without putting the hard work in anything you do, right?
No, my hands don't count money. It's going to be a long time till they do, and when they do, we're going to have a really bad party.
So hopefully tonight here at Nitrogen. Appreciate them letting us kind of take over Nitrogen here for our Drums and Rums night, our rum event here. I want to thank a big shout out to Chuck and Kara, the owners.
And Carlos.
Yep. Carlos, our bar manager there, and the staff, all holding it down there, making drinks for us tonight. And looks like it's a really packed house here tonight. And also, we've got some live music just before we came on the podcast. We've got live music by Jackson Springs. They're local musicians here, so definitely you got to check them out. Again, South Florida boys there. So big shout out for those guys too. So a lot of great friends here supporting the podcast, checking out, trying really bad rum for the first time, learning about a new brand, products, and all that. So it's great to see a lot of folks out here.
Support your local.
Right. So that journey there, from trying to get in putting your own rum into your own rum cakes, and then obviously that was a process, right? It doesn't happen overnight.
No, it doesn't. That rum cake, I've been making that rum cake for 30 years or more. And when I decided, after leaving the Walt Disney Company for 25 years and not wanting to go back into the music industry, decided to go into the rum cake business, and perfecting that recipe And then the biggest challenge was finding a company that would actually make the cake using my rum and not a rum gel or somebody else's brand. So I found a company down in Miami by the name of Dockside, and they do a fabulous job. I invented this little piercing fork that each cake gets pierced, so when we put the rum glaze on it, the rum glaze runs down into the cake, giving the cake little dark spots all around, setting it aside from some of those other cakes that you see at the airport that, they got a shelf life of like 99.2 years, I believe. I just can't believe they can stay on a shelf for that long. But in any case, it's not a sponge cake. Ours is more of a real cake consistency. Right. And if you haven't tried it, go to reallybadrum.com and check it out. Right. We can send you one, and we're trying to get these cakes into your local stores, but that's a whole nother game to play.
Excellent. So last year was a challenge for everybody, right? And especially for somebody growing their business or anybody in business, right? How did it impact you? Because I talk a lot about that. I think there is a symbiotic circle of life kind of thing when it comes to bars, restaurants, live music, alcohol. If one of them gets off kilter, everything starts, suffering. So COVID had a big problem with how do establishments keep afloat with reduced capacity. And then obviously if you reduce capacity, it means less revenue coming in, means you may not be able to bring musicians in. So again, there's a whole. So what kind of impact? How difficult was last year for you in Really Bad Rum?
Oh, it was not really good. I'll tell you that much. It was. It sucked, to be honest with you. As a small brand, it's hard enough just to get into bars and have them know even what to do with your drink, to promote your drink and feature your drink is one of the hardest parts of this game.
Right.
Getting it into the liquor stores first, A, is important. B, support those stores by doing in-store tastings, which we could not do due to COVID. So that slowed things down for us. The nice part of any of it is that we saw the rum sales continue in the stores we're in. They were organically moving off the shelves, and that we were thrilled for. That just tells us that we have a fan base, and we're blessed to have that. But we could build this fan base a lot bigger if we can get more establishments like this one here, the Nitrogen, to embrace the brand, feature cocktails, and it will just spread from there.
Right. Yeah. No, it's definitely so those that have tried it, and like myself here, definitely a great drink. It's a great mixed drink here. Let me just pause and have a sip.
If this is on video, this is gonna be.
It's gonna look really weird.
Well, I want to tell you what this is, my new invention. So this is only the left side of the new bra line that I'm going to come out with. Okay. They won't be bikinis because they have batteries, but we're going to make a bra line, a really bad bra line and this is, like I said, just the left side, because the rights are different. Okay. I've learned this firsthand. Firsthand.
Well, you are a doctor.
Exactly. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with any listeners or video watchers. Really bad.
Well, I guess if you make that bra line, solar panel, then you can get some type of solar.
Oh wow, we put solar panels on their hats or their backpacks or something.
I'm sure if there's a way, you'll slap anything on it. So speaking of doctor, so what are you a doctor of?
I fix problems. My whole life, I've fixed people's problems.
Right.
Didn't matter what the problem was. And, I acquired the name Doc very early on in life because of that. way before Back to the Future.
Right.
You know, before that movie came out, I was Doc Brown. And, you know, anything that, you know, the little brat kid on the street pushed your sister over on the bicycle, I went over and talked to him about it, you know, made sure he didn't do it again. Or, you know, and if I couldn't fix your problem, you paid the guy that did fix the problem, if you know what I mean. But we're not talking about those kind of problems.
Yeah.
We're just talking about problems.
That's my other podcast.
Yes, that's the other podcast. But no, you know, that's where the name came from, and just fixing people's problems and helping people.
Right.
I like to help people.
Right.
And I want people to have a good time and enjoy life.
Excellent. So, I think it might be now the industry here as a whole, right? Today is National Craft Distilling Day.
It is.
Right. And how important some of these things are for the small companies, the non big three that are out there, right? Is some of the laws are in the works to change here in Florida.
For the better.
Right.
There are a lot of laws changing. Unlike, you know, your brewery restaurants could sell and brew beer and all of that, and you could walk out with a growler of beer, and yet the distilleries couldn't do that.
Right.
So I don't get into a lot of those laws or conversations because I'm not the distillery.
Right.
My goal when we build this brand to the next level is to be a distillery as well.
Okay.
And at that point, we will have a restaurant, have stills, and we will do all that, whatever's legal and we can do. But
right.
I think that's some time out for us personally.
Right.
But because it takes capital to do it all.
Right. Right. So where is throughout the U.S. or again the internet's opened up the ability to reach products, and again that's a whole distribution chain craziness, right?
Yeah.
So where is Really Bad Rum here and also in the U.S.?
So throughout Florida, Total Wine and more, a lot of the mom and pop liquor stores here in Florida. We're in Texas, Total Wine, and some mom and pops. We're in California, Total Wine, some mom and pops. We do a little business with Iowa, Virginia, North Carolina just came on board. Maine last summer came on board. We're going to focus a lot of attention on Maine this summer.
Right.
I'm actually heading that way in a week or two. Massachusetts is probably one of our stronger markets, and it's mainly due to having a real distributor that has a real sales force that actually makes calls and follows up on calls.
Right.
Where our other states, you know, because the major distributors don't want to work with us because we're a small brand, and the Captain Morons all have them by the short hairs, and the sales reps only sell what they're told to sell. So I'll just get lost in the portfolio.
Right.
So we do what we can do to survive and prove our way, and hopefully one day we'll open up those distributors and they'll see what I've been saying all along.
Right.
This juice doesn't suck.
Right.
This juice sells on its own. The branding is perfect. The package is perfect. The story is perfect. And everything else is really bad.
Right. So I think, so I guess speaking of places outside of Florida, right, that it's growing, which is great to grow outside your home base. But wanted to give a little recognition there of Roger and Robert, your two big fans up in Iowa, right?
Aren't they cool?
So they'll be on coming up next month. They'll be guests on the podcast.
Are they gonna?
Yes.
Awesome.
So those guys are great, funny, very entertaining there.
They are.
Yeah.
You know, did you know how I met them?
I don't remember.
So my wife one night was sitting around playing on the computer, and she likes to just Google the brand name and see what's out there.
Right.
And she came across them. And she came to me and she goes, "You got to see this."
Right.
And she plays it, and I'm like, "Wow, this is nuts. Who are these guys?" They were in Iowa. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Really?" And so I had to reach out to them. It took me about a week to really make the contact.
Right.
But I did reach out to them, and I sent them a really bad care package for thanking them. Because what was cool about the whole thing is they don't know me or my wife from a hole in the wall. They found my brand, and they dubbed it their rum of the year, and they continue to talk about the rum compared to some of the major brands. And they do a great job on rating rums. I will tell you this, and all your listeners, go check these guys out. They are Just Drinking. They are Roger and Cole. They're just so honest about their opinion on different rums.
Right.
It's intriguing to listen to them, and their following's really grown well, and I'm so happy for them for that, and their support I'm blessed to have.
Right. Yeah. Since you turned me on, made me aware of them. I've been checking them out and watching their videos and jumping when they're going live on YouTube. So look forward to having them on. It'll be definitely fun. So
you'll see me making little comments on the side screen when that happens. Because
speaking of comments, you definitely were engaged in the other night on the Jams and Cocktails podcast there. So we have a few folks here in the crowd here.
Look at that pretzel over there.
Yeah.
Wow. He raised his hand. He's a pretzel.
He said pretzel. I don't know. Can you hear me, Brad? Okay. We were just talking about you. Yeah. So, are we ready to give away some stuff?
I'll give away some really bad stuff. Yeah, right, I got T-shirts to give out. Koozies, I'll give out what I can.
Is anybody ready to get some free swag?
Who wants a T-shirt? Raise your hand.
Wow. Okay, obviously people can hear us. We got a couple hands back there so.
She's a really bad girl. She deserves one anyways.
All right.
But we're going to make her work for it.
Okay, so there we go. So if you can hear us, Doc's got some trivia here for you to come up to us and give us the right answer. So you want to go ahead, Doc?
All right. I hope you all can hear me. So I'm going to do my first trivia question will not be about the brand. My first trivia question is this. I was born and raised in a town in Massachusetts where the independence of our country started. And they call it the shot heard round the world. This is a two-part question. I need to know where that battle, the town the battle started in, and who was the genius that rode the horse?
Uh-oh. All right. Clock is ticking here. All you got to do is ask Siri or Alexa.
Wow, maybe that was too hard for some of these people.
We're all trying to remember.
Okay, here's a better question. What color's the sky?
All right. Maybe they can hear us. Oh, they're saying they can't get their internet to work. Well, I think there's free Wi-Fi. Yeah, I think there's a nitrogen what?
And we don't need the answer right now. Whoever's the first person to come up to me and tell me that, I'll reward them really badly.
Cool. So, I think we'll get ready here to kind of get the boys back on the stage.
Okay, so one more trivia question. So the first one is the name of the town where our independence started, the shot heard round the world, and who rode the horse. The second question, this one you're going to have to dig for at reallybadrum.com. What is the name of Doc Brown's mermaid?
You own a mermaid?
I do. Mermaids are tough to keep. You got to keep spritzing them or they stink.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that movie Splash. For those who are our age.
Drink some rum tonight. I don't wanna let you go to see the light. Drink some rum tonight. Listen, baby, just like Doc Brown said. Drink some rum tonight. I don't wanna let you go to see the light. Drink some rum tonight. Listen, baby, just like Doc Brown said. Drink some rum tonight. I don't wanna let you go to see the light. Drink some rum tonight. Listen, baby, just like Doc Brown said. Really bad rum.
Hello, hello, hello. Good. Perfect.
You say goodbye.
And I say hello. Hello. Well, we're back now.
All right. So, after our little break there, our little live musical interlude, we're back here at the microphone, Doc and I, and he's pouring something into a very tall glass. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, it's really bad.
Oh, okay. Then
You gotta try it.
if it's really bad, then I really want it. Then isn't that like reverse psychology?
Yeah,
right?
but you're drinking water, you baby.
Well, I gotta. Do I want my wife to carry me out the door here? So
I'd like to watch. That might be really fun.
right. So I think what we were going to do here, Doc, is we're going to do we're going to use Chris's mic and we're going to do our trivia questions here. So you want me to go ahead and repeat the questions here, and I'll get up there and I'll see who wants some trivia and stuff.
Just give me the mic. I'll do it.
Okay. Can you give me the mic?
Why is his mic better than my mic or yours?
It is a little bit, but again, it might not be too bad.
Hello? Yeah, they can hear me.
Yeah. What? Okay, so lean in on it.
Just lean in. That's what she said.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
One more.
Is there anybody looking for some free stuff? Does anybody want some swag?
Free stuff.
Giveaways?
Hey, does anybody want anything free?
Oh, there we go.
Well, we're gonna make you work for it, okay?
All right, go for it.
So I asked a couple questions earlier, and I don't know if you heard me or not, or if anybody even cared to look it up. Did anybody? Let's start there.
Oh, we get some.
Well, one of the questions was, what's Doc's mermaid's name? You'd have to work for that one. You'd have to go to reallybadrum.com and read into the legend to find that answer. So if you didn't do that, then you're just too good to be really bad.
All right, so I think they're working on it. I think they're working on it together as a group.
If you're working on it, we'll let you ponder on that for a minute. You can't shout it out. You got to come over there because we're like kind of.
Hold on. Somebody's coming over.
You ready? It's called Suzanne.
Actually, it's not.
All right, Lee was my second answer.
No.
Oh, shit, Lee.
No, you were very close with the first answer.
Susanna.
Very good.
But, I mean, technically, can you tell it's a male or female? Suzanne, Susanna, you know?
No, I'm going to give it to you because you actually gave a shit to look it up.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I really try hard.
All right, so when we're done here, come see me and I'll give you the t-shirt.
I love it.
All right.
Free stuff's off. Let's
All
go.
right. Okay, so seeing how they did take the time to look at the website, in that same story, what is Doc's real given name? And what does that given name mean? Take your time. You got to go to reallybadrum.com/legend. And you'll find it there somewhere if you dig deep enough. Keep digging, keep reading.
All right, so let the folks here. Thank you. Is that the valet? Vaughn's.
They're robbing my van out there. All the rum's gone. Where to go?
We have nothing to give away now.
Yeah, sorry, somebody stole it all. All right, so while they think about...
Hold on, Doc. Hold on.
Oh, my friends are leaving. You girls have a really bad, safe night.
We will.
As Doc says, drive fast and take chances.
Okay. We'll see you this week.
Well, everybody else in this state does. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Give you a really bad reward for that one. Okay, so while they,
Think about
the
it.
steam's coming out of their ears and shit, All
right.
We'll,
So we have
let's move on. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So-
Ask me some really dumb questions. You'll get some really stupid answers.
Smart ass questions?
Yeah,
That's about
yeah,
your-
something
that's
like
your-
that. I like to give really bad answers.
Good. So,
Did you try the Mai Tai? The
yes.
Italian Mai Tai?
Yes, it is very good.
Salute. Thank you for your support, by the way.
You got it.
You rock. You rock. And those other guys over there, they rock.
No, he doesn't rock. He brocks.
Yeah, he does. He rocks so much the water comes up to the gunnel and starts coming in and shit. He knows how to rock the boat. I haven't even spoken with him yet, but I can just tell. I've been watching him, and I can read people because I'm Doc Brown, and he's got like a really interesting side to him. You got two sides, but I got three. Want to catch up with you, brother.
All right. So we'll get this rolling here. We'll get it wrapped up. So
Sorry, in front of the camera.
All right. Yeah. So. All right. So we talked about the products are available all over the U.S. here in Florida, and we didn't talk a whole lot about what are some of the other products you have. You talked about the rum cakes and the rum, but what else you got? What is really bad rum?
What else do I got?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we have a barbecue sauce,
Okay.
driftwood smoked barbecue sauce.
Okay.
It's a mild sauce. I left it that way. It's a little bit on the sweet side, but I feel that not everybody likes hot sauce.
Right.
I do know that kids like it because it's not hot.
Right.
And I left it that way purposely so those that want to spice it up can.
Okay.
It also doubles as a really bad marinade. If you use half the bottle of sauce,
Right.
I've experimented with this. I fill the half a bottle up with the dark rum, and I make a really badass marinade. Put the wings on that, let them sit overnight. Next morning, bam, you got wings for ball time.
Nice. So the legend.
The legend.
Yes. So so this is real, right?
Absolutely.
So I was going to say this is stuff you made up, but this is really what the
No,
legend.
my great-great-grandfather was the whimsical Doc Brown. He was basically that pirate that had the healing powers, and
Right.
he was the ship doctor, if
Okay.
you will. And he used rum as his main basis because that was very readily available back then on ships and whatnot.
Right.
And the legend went on to say that no cure that he ever gave. It not only cured. I've forgotten now because it's been a while since somebody even asked me the question.
Well, it's been a few cocktails too.
That too, but it's been said that it didn't only cure scurvy, it cured really bad things. Hence the name came from that quote.
Okay.
So he went on to search for more municipal components and spices and really weird shit to put in his medicines to make people feel good. And yes, I think the mouse stole part of that story for their movie, which I'll leave unnamed. But he came across a mermaid. He became shipwrecked first off. Came across this mermaid, and she was tied on the beach, screaming for her life. Some pirates tied her there because they didn't trust mermaids, and so he freed her, and in return she shared her undying youth of beauty and life. And the story goes into that a little bit more in depth and their relationship and how it went. It's I don't know if it's gonna be a movie.
It sounds interesting.
but I think it would be a really bad one if we made it. It's a good story. People tell me it's a good story. I wrote it based on the legends I've heard over my ancestors and bringing up and doing all that family tree shit and finding out who was who. But it all started way before, Back to the Future, this Doc Brown thing. Marty, don't play with the amplifier. I think it was, hey, Marty, don't drink the rum.
No, well, we definitely have to tell Vaughn not to play with that amplifier because he definitely would blow it up. So you mentioned that you're, so part of that background and the story is you're originally from New England area.
Yes.
So a big, shipping and all that stuff. I mean, it's not just about the Caribbean and pirates in South Florida.
No, I mean, there's a lot of treasure in New England. A lot of pirates made their way there. It's believed the Celtics made their way there. What's that TV show with the island up
Curse of the Blacks?
Curse of something. That island.
Right.
That's all true. I believe in it. I believe that the Knights buried stuff there. I think they're starting to believe that something more is taking place at that location. It just seems very interesting on how those tunnels were built, and we don't need to ponder on all that. But I am a masshole by trait. Born and raised in the birthplace of America, shot heard around the world. Paul Revere's horse, rode his horse across my front lawn. He'd fall off drunk every couple of years. The Battle of Lexington took place. It's a very educational thing that I think these kids today really should learn. And let's move on.
Yes. So if you're from Massachusetts, do you know that cousin from Boston? The Sam Adams commercials?
No, I
no.
don't.
Okay.
I've seen that commercial. I think it's great marketing. He's so Boston, dude. That's like wicked pizza.
Yeah. That is pure vernacular from that area. Yes.
Yeah, we used to go down to Revere Beach and the Trans Am and whatnot, picking up chicks. We put all that gold on and whatnot.
So how'd you think tonight turned out?
I think tonight went well. You definitely couldn't get a seat. That was a nice thing to see.
Right.
The better part of it is I don't know about you, but I didn't have to pay anybody to come. They just came.
Yep.
Social media helps that.
Yep.
As you know, you and I both are big on the social media. We need that support.
Right.
It's a big part of this game today. And we're blessed to have that. We're blessed to have these people come and support us.
Right. So tell us how to join Doc's Army.
So to join Doc's Army, it's very simple. You go to reallybadrum.com, and there's a little button there that says Join Doc's Army. And
that sounds simple.
Yep. You click on that. You give us your email address. And I think there might be your first name, last name, but that's it. That goes directly into my constant contacts, and anybody that's already signed up, they know already I don't bombard them weekly, daily, like some of these other companies do. I'm like the holiday email blast guy, you're going to get an email from me on Christmas, thanking you for your support.
Right.
And here's a coupon to go to my website and buy a cake and a barbecue sauce. And if nothing more, for your listeners, if you're gonna give somebody you love a gift when you're gift giving, please give them something really bad. They've already got something good.
So, social media. Where do we find and go again? Check you out all the on the social media.
I'm sorry, ask the question again?
Yep. So this is social media. So Instagram. What's the? How do we look you up on Facebook and all those places?
So the three mediums: Facebook, Instagram, and what was the other one? Twitter.
Twitter, right?
Yeah. It's all just Really Bad Rum.
Okay, that's simple.
And hashtag us, share. Those of you that make cocktails with our products or barbecue with our products, please tag us pictures of what you're doing. Create recipes, share them with us. We'll share them with the rest of the people that follow us, and that's all we can ask you to do. You know, it's not that hard, but it's hard to get people to actually do it. Everybody says they will.
Right.
And, you know, I walk out of the liquor store or a place like this and give away shirts and barbecue sauce and, oh, yeah, we'll do that. And time goes by.
Yep.
Never happened. But
It's about the engagement, right?
it is. It's like sales.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my wife and I, building this brand, when we first started here in Florida, you know, it was just us. And we got licensed to sell, and we just boots on the ground, knocking on liquor store doors. And, you know, the two of us came out with broken noses and sore feet from doors being slammed. But, you know, it's the law of averages. We actually got it to like 1 in 15 would actually bring the product in. And God bless them for doing that. We'd get right in and start doing tastings. And, you know, this juice doesn't suck.
Right.
And, you know, I was at Total Wine the other day, and I sold them out in 3 hours. And it's been I know how to sell my product, and Total Wine knows that.
Right.
And I can't thank them enough for supporting the brand either, but I can sell the product, and that's what I do best.
Right. Yeah, no, you definitely.
Is there a bar fight going on back there?
I think somebody cracked another chair over somebody's head. No, I think it's these metal chairs.
Oh, there he goes. He's bleeding.
Oh, it's a good thing there's a doctor in the house.
Yeah, come over here. We'll stitch you up. Get the staple gun, will you?
So what do you got coming up here? What's on the horizon for Really Bad Rum?
Good question. What's on the horizon for us is next week I'm full-blown out doing tastings here in South Florida at Total Wines every day of the week. From there, heading north to Massachusetts. We're going to hit the Cape. We're going to do tastings out on the Cape and some events there, provided the state is open due to the COVID thing. And then from there, I'll be in Maine. Maine is our newest state. Last summer, they came on board, so I'll be up there promoting the seashore of Maine, Portland, all the way up to Bath and further up, Booth Bay. We do have a lot of stores in Maine carrying the product. I now need to get there and get in front of the people in those stores and support the stores and build the brand.
Excellent. So, all right, Doc. So at this point of the podcast here, we do with all of our guests in 4 sips or less. If you're a rummer, and obviously if you're a drummer, it's a 4 beats or less. So this is the 4 sips or less. These are yes or no. First thing that comes to mind. Don't stew on it. And just whatever pops into your that noggin.
Well, this sounds really fun.
Yes. Okay. So we talked about mermaids. Okay.
We did.
Yes. So your mermaid a choice or preference? Blonde or brunette?
Really? Blonde or brunette? First thing that comes to my head, both at the same time.
Okay. So two mermaids for the price of one?
Yeah, 2 mermaids for the price of one. I can get you a deal if you talk to me.
Is it a Groupon?
It comes with a spritzer to keep them moist.
So,
I'm sorry, kids.
Yeah, we're definitely having to check the check box on this podcast for the EE explicit. Okay, so I know we've already talked about music. You're obviously a music buff, and in the industry, around a lot of it. You're even we're playing the trivia on Brad's show the other night. So
I sucked at that, by the way.
Oh, don't worry. I said these are rum trivia music questions, and I totally blew it. So, so I guess growing up, so Beatles or Stones?
Both.
Is this a theme with every answer now?
No, because they're both awesome.
Right.
And I have to say both because, I just do. They're both 2 different animals, but geniuses on all senses
right.
of music writing.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. They each had their styles.
Keep trying to get one answer out of me. Come on.
All right, okay. I'll ask you this one, and I know it's going to be another one of those. All right, so New England beaches or Florida beaches?
By far, Florida beaches. Let me tell you something about beaches.
I got one out of you.
You did. It's so simple. I'm one of those people that, as a sport fisherman, number one, if I'm in the water, there's a problem. I do scuba dive. I got certified in Massachusetts. I'll never go in that water again. Okay? It's too flippin' cold. And the kids when they were young, let's go to the beach. Okay, come on in the water. Okay. And if I walk down to the water and that first wave comes off over the top of my foot and it aches, I'm not going in the water. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like Jaws. 200 people went in the water. I'm not going.
I think we're gonna need a bigger bottle of rum.
Yeah, exactly. Next question.
All right. So
these are fun, actually.
Yeah. So now, I guess what has been so far, the most surprising thing that you've been through this rum journey with the company?
The most surprising thing.
Yeah, something like, wow, that was whether good or bad. If you look back and think, wow, that was kind of cool, or that was like, wow, that was pretty fucked up, or again, something that you obviously, it wouldn't be a surprise if we see it coming, right? So,
well, if you're looking for off-the-cuff answer, then I'll tell you all of it.
Okay.
I will tell you that, going into this business was scary. I won't lie to you. We launched in 2016 at the Miami Rum Renaissance Festival. I brought in live mermaids. I brought in nurses. I made a big splash there. I know I did.
Right.
I know the other brands were looking at me going like, holy shit, who's this Doc Brown dude?
Right.
And then the last part of that answer would be the fact that people are gravitating to the brand and the name.
Right.
And they're digging it, and they're getting it, and they're understanding it, and they're supporting local made rums.
Right.
And any local product. Florida, for one,
right.
is a big local supporter. I see local bumper stickers on everybody's cars here.
Right.
I just that's what I'm just amazed by and blessed to see, and can't thank this state enough and the people in it for doing that.
Right.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, I definitely think of all the states, even though there's places throughout the country that, I don't know if all 50 states have a rum distiller or rum that's made from that state, but definitely Florida fits the bill as far as any of the states, and maybe excluding Puerto Rico. It's I know it's not a state, but
well, they might be pretty soon.
You never know. 51. I don't know. You have a lot of people. It actually would put a lot more people in. You think about the economies, and they get rid of all these flags because now you have to get rid of them. And so there's always something. Follow the money, they say, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. So.
But you're right. I think that I spent a lot of time in other states,
right.
with my previous job, but not going to like the local markets where, the local people are selling and peddling their, crochets
right.
and little plants and hats and whatever they're making. Here in Florida, that was one of the first things my wife Susan and I noticed, is that these people are like all about local
right.
and supporting local. And that's just a blessing in itself, to have that type of walk of life in a community.
Right.
And so we try to do the Palm Beach Green Market on Burns Road in Palm Beach Gardens every Sunday, although this year it was a wash for obvious reasons.
Right.
But we'll be back. And that's where I've met a lot of my fans that were here tonight.
Right.
That they got hooked on my barbecue sauce and my rum cakes there. We can't sample rum at those events, but that's what I do. I do any event I can to get my brand in front of people.
Right.
And we got one coming up in August It's a charity event, and the name of it has slipped my mind, and I apologize to them for that, but it's going to be at the Sailfish Inn in Riviera Beach the last weekend of August, and I will be there, full-blown branding, tent, serving rum, cakes, barbecue sauce. Excellent. So look for that, everybody, on the social media, because we will be promoting that.
August is National Rum Month.
Indeed.
Right.
Indeed it is.
Yep.
Yes.
So. Well, Doc, I think I definitely appreciate it.
I don't want to go.
You don't want to go? So I guess we'll, before we go ahead and wrap up here and see if anyone else has any, wants any free stuff. So the first person that can come up here and tell me what the name of this podcast is, and you get a free shirt.
Or tell me a really bad joke.
Uh-oh.
It's called Drums and Rums.
So, what did I hear somebody say the name of the podcast? Man, nobody wants free stuff.
Drums and Rums! Where the back beats meet the speakers.
Coming up here.
But hey, I want to thank you, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So,
it's been really cool.
Yes.
I hope the Nitrogen Bar here, I hope they continue to support the brand for us. If they don't, then I understand. But
yeah, we'll see.
We'll come back here and continue to try to make Carlos a really bad guy,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he needs any help with that. So.
I sense the same thing,
Yeah.
but I haven't gone out and like partied with him yet, so I don't know.
He's actually a sexy looking guy, that Carlos.
It's-
I don't know. He's probably not listening, so.
No.
He's busy. He's in the zone.
He is.
So.
But all right, God bless you, brother.
All right, well, I appreciate it. All right, y'all. This is Paul with the Backbeats Meets the Spirits. Thanks. If you like what we're doing here at Drums and Rums, we have a Patreon link to help with setting up interviews and creating content that you find entertaining and interesting. Also, if you'd like to sponsor, advertise on the podcast, or if you want to come on as a guest to promote something related to the show, email me at info@drumsandrums.com. Please leave a rating or review over on iTunes or on your favorite podcast location to let me know that you like the podcast and that there's others know it's a podcast they should listen to. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Lastly, I want to thank Brad Brock for our mid-show rum feature tune titled Once Upon a Bottle of Rum. And check out his podcast, Jams and Cocktails. Also, Kirk S. for our Drums and Rums tune. Thanks again for listening, where the backbeats meet the spirits.